All right, Brady, let's check out some of your slalom free ski. I put you up against here comparison next to one of our former MSA coaches, Andrew, and hopefully that will help you to see kind of the things that we've been talking about. All right, you're both skiing really slow, really flat terrain, slalom skiing. All right, so let's get you guys going. So first off, he has a pretty wide stance. We're not looking to be that wide, not for you, all right? But we want a nice kind of, comfortable athletic stance. We want to maintain that consistent width. Here you can obviously see your feet are really tight together at the top of the turn. But more importantly, what we're talking about here is how I want to demonstrate to you and show you how you have this counter rotation at the top of the turn that we've been talking about. So here, you're looking to turn, this is the right footer, turn to the left. So you're looking to turn this way, but you're facing that way. So you've counter rotated. You rotated your upper body a little bit in the opposite way we're looking to turn. This is how you're getting your skis up on edge. You're counter-rotating and then dropping the hip in downwards. And that's how you get your skis up on edge. Whereas we really want to make sure we're more square down the hill in slalom, using our ankles and knees to get our skis up on edge. Right? So you can see him over here really using his ankles and knees to get his skis up on edge. Right, you can see you there. His upper body is square down the hill. I can see his whole back. Obviously, you're facing right now this way. Whoops. Right, so you're facing this way, upper body. So your head's looking down the hill. You're facing that way, and you drop the hip in a little bit here, and that's how you got your skis up on edge. So your angles are like this. Whereas him over here, we can see, whoops, we don't want that. We can see that his angles are going to be more like, this, and you can see a little this, and maybe a little of that. All right, so using ankles and knees to get those skis up on edge. Now, another thing is when we've been talking to you about getting your elbows forward in front of the torso. To get your arms and hands more in front of you. But it is hard. You would feel awkward right now to put your arms forward. Because right now you're facing this way. So your arms would be going that way when we're trying to turn this way. And that's pretty awkward. So that's why you hold them back. You hold your elbows back until you get the turn developed. But then, because your elbows are back, you have to have this big swing forward to pole plant. Although you didn't really pole plant there. Still want to pole plant, a little pole touch. The end of the turn. See, he comes through, but he has his arms, because he's more down the hill, he can have his arms out, so there's no real swing. Pole plant at the end of the turn helps us release the skis, get recentered, and rebalance for that next turn. He's a nice balance there. Now, you're obviously feet way too close together, right? You're not really in balance. All right? And here we can see already how are you putting those skis up on edge? We're facing this way, upper body, and just dropping the hip a little bit and getting the skis up on edge that way. Andrew is going to roll up ankles and knees. Upper body is more down the hill than you. Hands are more forward because he can do it. Ankles and knees. you eventually get your knees going towards the end of the turn, right there. But there's that arm, right? Because right here, you got your elbows back. Because who'd want to stick your elbow or elbows forward or hands forward this way when you're trying to turn that way? That would be weird. So everything's interrelated, But there we get that big swing forward to pole plant, right? And again, all using the hip to put the skis up on edge. You can see Andrew here using ankles and knees to roll the skis up on edge. I mean, look at those knees going in there, right? You a little knee toward the end, but the initial thing is all going to be kind of hip, right? Because that's how you do it. That's how you, right now put your skis up on edge. Counter rotation and dropping the hip in. It's kind of dumping the hip in, we call it. All right, so I hope this helped. So we got to think about having, first off, a consistent width throughout the entire time and not getting narrow at the top of the turn. But, more importantly, we want to really be square down the hill in slalom. We got to really just work on, not allowing ourselves to face out this way, counter rotate when we're trying to go this way, and really use ankles and knees. Ankles and knees to roll the skis up on edge at the top of the turn. Then that will allow you to have your hands and elbows more forward. But we're going to work on it. We're going to work on flatter terrain, railroad track turns, right? We got to be square down the hill. Now in GS, you're still countering, but we were talking about how we want to just face the actual, follow the direction of the skis, and that's okay. Just make sure you understand the difference. Slalom, we want to be square down the hill. And GS, we could be a little bit more, our chest following at the top of the turn and through the fall line, following our skis with our chest. As we go finish the turn, we can have a little counter towards the end. Being counter meaning being more square down the hill, not the counter we're talking about here. So I hope this helps. I hope this makes sense. Please talk. Please talk to me about it next weekend, and make sure you understand what I'm saying. All right. Thanks.